Shalom, shalom. All right, it's the brother Maccabee from COS, Colorado Springs, Sons of Jacob, as well as the brother Taz.
Tazapanya, shalom.
All right, we in the house. We gonna bring you another lesson. All right, and we just want to say first and foremost, we give all praise, all honor, all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Quadash. All right. Double honors unto the elders of GMS, who are the true leaders of Israel, whether you can accept it or not. We also want to extend a sincere shalom to all the Akim out there who are pushing this word, all right, in this truth to the four corners and four winds of the earth, all right, as well as the brothers who know who the speckled bird prophecy applies to, as well as the Akwaf and the Akum that are listening and learning to this truth, all right. And to you, we extend a sincere shalom.
Shalom.
All right, when that started, man, or with that being said, we just want to get started and say, and we come to the end of this thing as often as said, but we really coming to the end of it, man, because Esau, is just out here, or is out here stumbling and tripping across his own words and statutes and commandments and things that he's issuing upon the people, man. All right, and when that being said, first and foremost, I would like to get Psalm 64 and 8. All right, just to speak about how now. You got Esau out here running his mouth and talking, and just with that, I'm going to go to it too, so just so brothers can see what we on. But brother, when you ready, go ahead and get that Psalms 64 and 8. It's a little tough with the...
L is 50, right?
Yeah. L is 50.
V is 5.
Yep. The V is 5 with the 1. So you want the L. You want
64.
Yep. You want the L. That's 60.
Right. X is 10.
You want this one here. Go back real quick. Bear with us, Akim. Let me see. This is the one you want here. Should be 4.
45.
Because that's 64. No, I'm tripping. Salakia. Here, I'll read it on here. It ain't no thing. Just so we get it. This is Psalm 64 and 8. And it reads, so they shall make, and I'll let you break it down, Ak. So they shall make their tongues to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. All right. Go ahead, Ak, break it down.
Right. So they shall make their tongue to fall upon themselves. So they're going to be talking things that actually goes against them own selves. All right. So a lot of the things that's coming out right now, the so-called jabbed is spreading the so-called virus.
And that's the new thing. That's the new speech is that, if you're quote unquote vaccinated and you have both jabs, that you're now quote unquote a super spreader. And a couple weeks ago, they was calling you a hero for getting your vaccination. Right? So which one of those is true? Mm-hmm. Are you a hero for getting your vaccination, or are you a super spreader who's causing, quote unquote, the Delta variant, as Fauci would say now? So once again, if you got that 64 and 8, brother, just read it again aloud.
Okay.
And then break that down for the goofies. Right.
So it goes on to say, the book of Psalms, chapter 64, verse 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves.
Right.
All that see them shall flee away.
Right. So if you go back a couple weeks ago, Fauci was singing a whole different tune than the tune he's singing right now. Okay? So that goes to show you that these Edomites, their tongue is falling upon themselves. Because the CDC has a completely different outlook upon what this quote-unquote, stab and jab, the Maxine Waters is, to what they were saying, a couple weeks ago, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks ago. It was a whole different story. Salakia, brother, would you just go to Jeremiah 49:10 now, and let's read that and see what that says. Just according to the scriptures on how we deal with the quote unquote devil that is in the Bible.
Con.
Go ahead, bro.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, verse 10. But I have made Esau bare.
Con.
I have uncovered his secret places.
Mm-hmm. The groves, the quote unquote groves or secret Masonic places where you Edomites gather and produce your evil plots and plans. Hey man, the Most High done made you bare, man. All right, Jake, as well as the rest of the known world and the heathens, they are aware unto your secret gatherings and your things of such. So it's not no secret no more. You've been made bare. All right, for all the world to see that Esau's little baby red pink meat is out here showing, and everybody know you got the baby nuts. Okay, so go ahead, bro. Finish that out.
And he shall not be able to hide himself.
And where are you gonna hide? You exposed now. So the known world, whether it be the Israelites or the other nations, they on to you, man. All right, they're aware of Esau, Edom, and his plots and his plans in the known world, man. Go ahead,
His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not.
So Esau's seed is spoiled, as in rotten, destroyed, done away with, wasted away, as his name means, as Esau means, as Adawamium, wasted away, the wasted away one. Okay, you Edomites, man, and your brethren and the neighbors, bro. The rest of the kingdoms outside of Esau, Edom, are wasted and lost, and for the most part, they don't know who they are. All right, all due to Esau, Edom's rulership over the known world. All right.
Right. And that's why it says he is not, because it was already written from the beginning of time that it was written that he was going to be destroyed, as the book of Obadiah says. You feel me? That no inhabitant of the house of Esau shall stand. Man.
That's right.
All
yeah,
right.
The house of Esau should be utterly destroyed, man. Gathered up and gathered up and destroyed in a fire, so to speak.
That's right.
As the scriptures say, you'll live 1,000 years of captivity. And that's according to whether it's the Lord's time or regular time. But you'll spend 1,000 years in captivity, and when that time is up, all the Edomites be rounded up and done away with, man.
Right. Because your punishment is going to be slavery, starting with you international banking families. All right. Because y'all obviously think that with y'all money, y'all gold, y'all silver, that you're going to be able to bring these so-called doomsday bunkers. All right. And a lot of y'all is going to make it. But all of that is in through the mercy of Yahweh Shai to bring y'all to y'all punishment and to rebuild this earth that y'all have destroyed, man.
That's right. And then, when you start talking about that earth you destroyed, like what's he talking about? Like the extinction of animals. You know what I'm saying? The extinction of plants.
Right, the trees,
that's why the scripture says when Esau is out of rulership, man, the trees gonna rejoice. The trees gonna rejoice.
Right.
Would you grab for me 1 Timothy 6:20, if you don't mind. If you don't mind for me here, so we're gonna move forward.
1 Timothy 6:20.
Yeah. Which is here, I'll grab it up on here.
This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings.
Oppositions of science. Go ahead, Doc.
And oppositions of science falsely so called.
With science in and of itself, the meaning of the word is a guesstimation, okay? Which is like I guess, an idea of, I don't know how tall the brother is, but I'm a guess he's 5'10" and some change. Or I'm a guess he's 5'11" and some change. But his actual height or the reality of it, that may not be so. He might be 6 feet. But me giving the science is just me giving a guesstimation, a guess or a loose leaf, estimate.
This is the definition in the Greek of science in the book of First Timothy. It's G 1107. It is gnosis. Gnosis. It means knowledge signifies in general intelligence, understanding, the general knowledge of Christian religion, the deeper, more perfect and enlarged knowledge of this religion, such as belongs to the more advanced,
right?
Especially of things lawful and unlawful for Christians,
right?
Moral wisdom, such as is seen in right living,
right?
Knowledge, science,
and science, man. So the Most High told us as a people to commit thy trust and avoid profane babblings and oppositions of science. Okay, thus saying, we need to avoid all that nonsense, man. The ideas of science and the old pseudoscience and this and that and this. Esau is the king of, E. E being you know who E is. They're the king, of pseudoscience, of showing you something that's not reality, that's fake, that's false, that's doctored up.
Right. Pseudo meaning false.
Right.
Pseudoscience is false science. And notice how science in the Greek means Gnostic was translated into Gnostic. So when you hear people saying they're agnostic, the word, the prefix a, coming to the opposite of. So if somebody's saying they're agnostic, that means they're opposite or completely on the other spectrum of the knowledge and the science of the scriptures.
Just completely on the flip side of the coin, man. On the I don't believe tip, so to speak, or the atheist tip.
Yeah, they lean on their own understanding. Right.
Where their understanding is what God is. Where they sit there and be like, well, I think I feel spirit.
That feel, emotion, guided type of free spirited understanding. When the Most High is not dealing with, you see what I'm saying? Because when you say free spirit, that's meaning that wherever the wind blows, that's where you go. But see, the scriptures say that be not as the wind that moveth you to and fro, for paraphrasing. You see what I'm saying? As it says in the New Testament. You see what I'm saying? Because we're supposed to be grounded upon a rock, on a foundation, the cornerstone of Yahweh Shai.
That's right. Salak Yak, would you get Wisdom of Solomon 10:5? And I'll go to it here because I'm in my blue letter. Let me close out of that and go.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10, verse 5. Moreover, the nations in their wicked conspiracy, being confounded, she found out the righteous and preserved him blameless unto Yahweh, and kept him strong against his tender compassion toward his son.
So, for the Most High having the spirit to push it out upon his forebear, his children that was going to teach and preach this word from the very beginning. He confounded some, and he gave some, the understanding to not understand, or the blindness to not see what we teach, man. Salaki, let me get to the scripture, but go ahead and break it down for me, bro.
And notice, because that goes back to Psalms 83, that they tried to basically take away the remembrance of the Israelites, the hidden ones.
Right.
All right. The nations in their wicked conspiracy. What is a conspiracy? A secret council
against Israel, man. Which causes, that systematic racial divide between the Israelites, man. Where you set, whether it be the son against the mother against the son, the daughter against the father against the, whatever it may be. That construct of ideology comes down from Esau Edom. And those Willie Lynch letters that were written to, quote unquote, generalize the behaviors of how you control the Negro and Native and Latin American in Babylon. All right, and that's how we get control to this day. You pit the light skinned nigga against the dark nigga. You pit the north side nigga against the south side nigga. Right. You pit the west side nigga against the east side nigga. Right. You pit the woman against the man. Right. You pit the woman and the children against the man. So you get that prolonged, genealogy. What would you call it? Prolonged effect that gets passed down generation after generation. You get this nigga woman telling her children that the father ain't shit. Right. Whether that's been passed down from the 60s on down, it affects the Negro, Latino, and Native American to this day. And all of that was confounded and put into place by, quote unquote, the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Right. And that's why the nation said in their wicked conspiracy being confounded, because there is no counsel against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
So anything that the nations do, right, is in vain. Their counsel is going to be confounded because Yahweh's will is always going to be established.
All
right? So that's why I said she found out the righteous, because eventually, just like it says in Wisdom of Solomon, I think it's chapter 5, that because through the strangeness of their salvation.
Strangeness of their salvation, that's 5 and 10.
Exactly. So they found out who the righteous really are, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American.
Fuck it, I'm going to read it because you're speaking about it. I'm going to go to it because I'm in it. Let me go to that. Matter of fact, we'll go back because the thing's playing. Want to play? It's all right. So here we go. Let me pull that out. Salakia, bear with me. And like the brother was reading on, I'm going to just read it so that we can hear it. And Salakia. It's 5 and 1. And I'll grab it anyway. Chapter 5, Wisdom of Solomon, and it reads, this is 5 and 1, and it reads, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors.
Right. So the righteous man, who is the righteous man? The elect.
Right.
The elect, the remnant of Yasharallah, the children of Israel. They're going to stand in boldness before the face of who afflicted him. Who afflicted him? Of course, the sword of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, which is Esau. But also it goes back to the one who controlled Esau Edom, which is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Because it says, make your calling and election sure.
Right. Continue for faith.
So we're trying to, through faith, he said that your conscience should be clear, okay, unto the Father. All right. So we're trying to live a life that is not only righteous, but we can say that we have done no wrong, understanding that we're going to try to keep the laws, statutes, commandments to the best of our ability.
And we in Babylon, and that quote unquote is impossible. But that being said, we still try, man. We putting that much more effort into it than the rest of the goofies. So hate as you must. But who else? If like we say about Esau, if not them, then who is it?
Exactly. And that's why I say made no account of his labors.
Right.
Because
you might be
in the
pushing.
scriptures in Isaiah it says that, you feel me, we bear the indignation of the Lord because we have sinned against him.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it says that he would basically blot out the transgressions
of your life.
You see what I'm saying?
Lord willing.
Yeah.
To
the east or to the west. You feel me? So basically that he's not going to take an account unto the things that you have done. We're doing this thing obviously because that we have been commanded by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. However, you feel me, all righteousness is as our filthy rags.
All
right?
Right.
So He's not making account of the sins that we have made because of the blood of Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
All right. So continue up.
Khan, I'm gonna go down to 2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
Right. So what are they gonna see? They're gonna see the chariots. All right, of the Most High power, Yahweh Bahasham, in the name of Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is coming with what? With the clouds, the chariots, all right,
clouds.
The so-called angels, as Ezekiel speaks of, all right, those so-called dark-skinned, all right, messengers, those angels, all right, coming to be not only the salvation of the elect, but also the destruction of the 2/3 and the heathens and Esau.
That's right.
All right, continue.
But that's right. All right. And they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
Right. So they're gonna be amazed. They're gonna be wondering that these same people that they were so-called. Remember, it says in Jeremiah that the Gentiles will say that they inherited lies, man. All right, so they're going to be amazed at these people that they was taught a lie, that they was monkeys, that they was evil savages. Right. All right,
they so-called niggas,
the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. Right. They're going to be amazed.
Niggas. So Esau, quote unquote, not to interrupt you, but Esau. Edom, Dirty E, they're going to have, Dirty Ernie, he going to have to admit that the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American are the true bloodline of quote-unquote Yahweh, okay? Who people ignorantly call God and Jesus Christ, that the Negro, Latino, and Native American are the descendants of the bloodline of the house of David.
That's right. And that's a factamundo, because he's talking about the elect, those that are of the house of David.
That's right.
Because David was what? He was one that followed the heart of the Father.
That's right.
All right.
Which is exactly the reason why the strangeness of our salvation, okay? Us going into chariots, being beamed up in a chariot. Scotty, beam me up. That idea is so foreign and strange to Esau Edom. And he wants it so bad. He done known for thousands of years that it was going to be this way. Which is why a lot of his television and the stories and this and that with space exploration, let's jump in the Millennium Falcon and skate. Esau wants that ability that's going to be given unto Jake, man, but they not going to get it. So
this is the according to the Oxford Dictionary, the definition of strangeness. Okay,
the strangeness of his salvation so far beyond that they look for. Go ahead, Doc.
So strangeness in the Oxford Dictionary, number 1 says the state or fact of being strange. 2, physics, a characteristic property of certain subatomic particles, specifically strange quarks, strange antiquarks, and hadrons containing these, expressed as a quantum number. All right? So when it talks about the strangeness of his salvation, there's going to be a change of elements. This is why in Thessalonians it says that we will be changed. You see what I'm saying?
Bam. Be a whole different being.
A being immediately as soon as we go.
Regular nigga to Super Saiyan.
As soon as we go through that light beam, all right, or that particle beam, all right, we're going to be changed immediately. All right, the so-called the hopeful elect. Right. All right, and it's going to be strange because nobody has ever seen a mass quote unquote exodus of people
outside of
being beamed up per se, right? Going into chariots, what the Esau calls unidentified 5 objects, but what we call the chariots of the Most High power.
And they're IFOs, because we know what they are.
Exactly, they are identified.
And Edom, and I'm going to say your name, Edom, you knock our video off, then we know you some hoes. But at the end of the day, Edom, they know what we know. And what we saying to you right now is fact. Okay? So when they see these chariots, it make them fearful. All right? Whether they pull this down or not, that's a fact.
Right. So that's why according to the definition of strangeness, they're using scientific slogans as far as hadrons and quarks, because when you get into the microcosm of the elements, things is changed on a subatomic elemental level.
I'm gonna put a part 1 on this and start it over because we got 25 already.
Okay.
Let me